In this video, I'm going to show you how to make an end-of-year showcase project using Adobe Spark Post. Adobe Spark Post is one of my favorite creativity platforms. It's really easy to use, and the end products that students create with Adobe end up looking incredibly clean and professional. I always like to cap off the year with a showcase where students show off all the different cool projects that they did throughout the year. An Adobe web page is a perfect platform for students to do that. My name is Sam Carey, and this is my YouTube channel for the New Ed Tech Classroom. If you appreciate the tips that I share in this video, show your support by hitting the like button, sharing it with other teachers that you know, and subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell to make sure you don't miss any of my weekly updates. You can also visit my website at www.newedtechclassroom.com for additional tips and resources about how to use education technology in your class. In this video, I'm going to show you some examples of final projects that students made in my class. I'll also go over some of the basic planning and preparation that I had my students do in order to make their web pages. And lastly, I'll show you how easy it is to make an awesome looking Adobe Spark web page so that you're prepared to teach your students how to do it. I teach ancient civilizations, and part of what we learn is about the important achievements of each civilization. So for this showcase project, I had students choose what they believed were the top 3 achievements in human history up to this point. You can see that students included an image to represent the achievement, as well as some text to explain why they chose that achievement. Then beneath the final argument that they made, they included some of their best projects from the year that showed the different achievements of all the civilizations we studied. Here you can see that students included images of their projects. They also included links to other websites where you could view the project on that site, and they even embedded different video projects. All right, now that we've seen how really awesome those final showcase projects look, I'm going to go through just a little bit of how I prepared my students to actually make these web pages. First, I pushed out a Google slide to them that had a list of all the different projects that we had created throughout the school year. Then I had students go to different websites where they had already created projects and either screenshot images of those projects or download copies of them so that they can put them up on their website. I also like to send my students to websites like Unsplash and Pixabay, where students are able to get images that they have copyright access to and then have those images ready so that they can put them up on their webpage. Then I had students create a folder on their desktop where they could put all the different images and screenshots of their final projects. The only new piece of this showcase project was for students to make an argument about what they believe the top 3 achievements of the ancient civilizations were. So here I gave them a graphic organizer where they could look over all the projects that they had already created and come up with their top 3 arguments. And lastly, I made my own demo web page just to give my students an idea of what their final projects could look like. So in order to create a web page, students are first going to go up to the blue Create a Project button. From the drop-down menu, they'll select Web Page. There you'll see a very basic template, and the first thing that students can do is enter a title for their project. Below the title, you'll see an Add button where students can add an image that will become the header background of their website. So here I'm just going to use the internal search function for an image, and I'm going to go ahead and search for the Great Wall of China, since again, I teach ancient civilizations. Once students find the image that they like, they simply select it, and it will show up in the background on their webpage. Next, on the top right under Themes, you'll see that there are some different options for the website theme that will change the way that it looks. And once I've picked a theme that I like, I'm going to go ahead and start adding more content. When students scroll underneath their title, they'll see that they have a bunch of different options for the type of content that they could upload. So here I'm going to go ahead and start with a glide show just to show you what that looks like. The glide show allows you to upload multiple images at the same time. So here I'm going to select all the 3 images that I chose to represent the 3 main achievements that I was going to choose for my final project. Once those images are selected, students can rearrange the order if they need to. And then after they click Save, they'll see that the images show up as full page backgrounds on their website. So here I can see all 3 images that I chose, and it already looks really professional. I'm going to go ahead and go back up to the top of those images and choose to add text in order to make sure that this section of the web page is labeled. You'll see that students can customize the alignment of the text as well as the size. And next, students will scroll down to the first image where they'll be given different options for the type of media that they want to overlay on top of that image. So here I'm just going to add some text to indicate which achievement I've chosen, and then below write why I chose that particular achievement. And here you can see I'm also playing around with some of the formatting tools to make it look the way that I want it to look. Now for the next two images, I'm going to repeat the same process of adding some text overlay with a title for each achievement, as well as a short explanation about why I believe that achievement was the most important. Here, it would be a good idea to provide students with some sentence starters to make sure that their explanations are matching your expectation. After students have included what they believe to be the three most important achievements, they're going to start adding different projects that they created throughout the year. So here I'm going to start with some text again, just to indicate that this section of the web page is now about final projects. And this time, rather than the glide show, I'm going to go ahead and choose split layout. You'll see when you get to split layout that students are able to add an image on one side as well as text on the other. So here students can add a screenshot of one of the projects that they chose, and then on the other side, write the title as well as a short description of that project. Next, I'm going to show you how students can directly embed video content onto their web page. Earlier in the year, I had students make a video in Adobe Spark Post about the most important achievements of ancient India. First, students are going to go back to their video project and make sure that they have the publish link copied. Then students will choose to add the video option and paste the link in as an embedded video. You'll notice that students can also choose from YouTube or Vimeo as well. And then you'll see that the video shows up directly on the web page. Next, let's look at how students could create a hyperlink that would take viewers out to another app or web page. So for this digital book project that my students made about the Han Dynasty using Book Creator, an option would be to first copy the direct link into their digital book. Then students could choose to add a button, paste the link to their book, and customize the text that they want to show up on the web page, as well as how they want the button to be oriented on that page. And lastly, let's look at how to embed an image directly into the web page. In order to add an image, students will go to Photo, and then they can add a screenshot from that folder that they made of a project that they created. You'll see that students also have some different options for the way that the image appears. I'm going to go ahead and choose Fit to Screen here to show you what that would look like. So with the Fit to Screen option, you'll see that the image kind of glides in and has a really cool look, and that there's also a caption on the side where students could overlay some text on top of that image to explain what it's about. Then when they're ready, they can go up to the preview button at the top to take a look at what their final product looks like. So here you're going to see a very professional, clean, aesthetically pleasing web page that took me a very short period of time to make. Students love making these web pages because they look so cool, and it makes them really excited to showcase their work with their peers and their families. Lastly, in order to share the published link for their web page, students will go up to the share button. Then you can have students copy the link to the web page and then have them share it in whatever way seems best for you. I'm personally going to make a Padlet and have all my students post their different websites onto the Padlet so that everybody in the class is able to see all the really cool work that their peers did. If you have any questions about how I've done showcase projects in my class with Adobe Spark Post, please ask in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching my video to the end. If you found the tips that I shared helpful, please share it with other teachers that you know, hit the like button, and subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell to make sure you don't miss any of my weekly updates. You can also check out some of the other tutorials I have on my channel by clicking on one of those two videos above. And if you're interested in downloading any of the resources that I've created and show on my videos, please visit my website at www.newedtechclassroom.com. Lastly, if you want to check me out on social media, my Twitter handle, Facebook page, and Pinterest account are all in the description below. Thanks so much and have a great week.